Run ahead and bring it back up. Alafia, welcome, welcome. Greetings. You are welcome here, Alafia Goddess. Oh, no, it's funny. I'm like, why is this looking crazy? Greetings, Queen. How are you, Alafia? I am Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. And today I want to talk to you about getting your Ilekes and potentially considering getting your Ilekes with me. Just want to have a little conversation. So, yeah, but we always like starting out with a little music. Join me. Hey. I'm glad to be here. We're just so grateful for this now moment to be in remembrance of this beautiful tradition that survived what it should not have survived, so that you and I today could have access to it. And for that, we are so, so grateful. We are grateful to the spirit of the Orisha, to the ancestors, to all the energies that made sure that we were able to remember the teachings, the wisdom, the ways of our ancestors through this beautiful tradition that has helped us to survive many, many generations of all kinds of trials and tribulations, that has helped us to step into our healing and to thrive and to overcome and to be abundant. We are forever grateful. And we know that no tradition can continue if we do not continue it ourselves. And so it is my honor to be able to share this tradition with those of you who have been wanting your Ilekes. I don't know if you're waiting for the right teacher, if you're waiting for the right moment, you're waiting for something. And maybe I'm the one for you, or maybe you'll find someone else. But I at least want to give you the opportunity, and I want to talk about that today. I'm just calling in the energy of Eshu Elegwa, one of the primary Orisha that we work with in this tradition, to open up the communication, allow me to flow and share what everyone needs to hear. But we are just asking you to open the way so that this is something, it is an experience, it is an opportunity for people to learn and hear something, that the only thing that happens will be for our highest and our greatest good. May we all be edified. And I'll call on my guides, the great mother, the ancient mothers, my ancestors, all of my guides. Thank you for all that you do for me. I decrease my ego and I only want to just be a channel and a flow for you. And thank you to my ancestors for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. Thank you for living the way that you live so that I can live the way that I live. If there are any dark deceased ancestors hanging around, any dark energies hanging around, you cannot stay. I send you on your way with light and love towards your healing. And we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Om. So I will bring up, let me just say hello. Who's here? Chanel, how are you? Alafia, Alafia Queen. Greetings, Just Bliss. Give my nephew a hug. Hello, greetings, TJ. So glad that you are here. So, yeah, this is my way of helping everyone to um, understand what I'm doing and make a choice, make a decision. And so, yeah, let's go on ahead and get started. I do want to bring in the fire element. One of the Orisha that we work with is Shango. And one of the ways that we honor Shango is by saying Kawo Kabiyesi. So Shango, Kawo Kabiyesi. And we're bringing in fire. Did I not bring my thing over here? Mhm. Let me get my lighter. Okay. So yeah, if you have a candle, maybe you want to join me. You don't have to, but we're going to bring in the fire element. So we've talked about Eshu Alegwa, who opens the way. We stand at the crossroads with Eshu Alegwa. And some of y'all might be at the crossroads right now. Should I or shouldn't I? And then we're bringing in the energy of Shango, uh, the Orisha of his element is fire, but he's also very strategic and he's very wise. So we're bringing in the energy of Shango's wisdom, his strategy. I'm an astrologer also, so he brings in boldness also. um, another Orisha that we work with, or you get the Ilekes for, is Yemonja. She is the energy that I am initiated into. So I'll just say a prayer that I know for her. Iba yema ya woyo, iba yema ya kute, iba yema ya kona. Yema ya tar magwa anobo eba mi, maja kiki wana je, yema ya fumimo adupwe ashe, ashe, ashe o. She's the mother. She's very caring and nurturing, and she invites you to love yourself, to care for yourself. That is Yemonja. Another one is Obatala. And so, I get nervous singing, but nobody said in Ifa, you have to have a good voice. You just need to sing them songs, okay? So I'm going to sing just a little bit of an Obatala song. Obatala is king of the white cloth, wisdom, 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 patience, clarity. He says, have a cool head, okay? And so I'm going to call in um, or just sing a song in honor of Obatala, one of the Orisha that we're working with. Baba furudu wede deo, o kanyen yen leji o. Eleji fao basi basao, eji borere basi wayo, eluaye ya gualo ella gualo el esyoka. Se de papa, se de o, bogbo la iña, se de. Se de Obatala, se de o, bogbo la iña, se de. Se de Obatala, se de o, bogbo la iña, se de. Se de baba, se de o, bogbo la iña, se de. Bobo la iña se de. Bobo la iña se de. So we honor Obatala, we honor Oshun, who is the final Orisha that we get in our with our lekes. And Oshun actually gave the Odu. So the Odu in the Ifa tradition is the wisdom. She gave the Odu. So we will honor Oshun once we get to that Odu, but Mefefun Oshun. Oh yes. Hello. How are you, Queen Kita May? Glad you are here. So I will go on ahead and start with what I want to share with you all today. I put this presentation together, um, and I want to just address this right here, right now. Number one, you may see me take off my lekes. I am a Taurus moon, and I've had some transits that don't allow me to wear a lot on my neck right now. So if they start kind of irritating my neck, I'll have to take my lekes off. But for you all, I put them on today. Number two, for people who want to know why am I taking such a business approach to sharing this, number one, I believe that you should know what you're getting into. That's part of the problem. That's part of the reason people don't want to initiate, because they're kind of like, well, what am I getting into? What am I signing up for? Well, I'm here to let you know what you're signing up for with me. So that's number one. Okay, I love business. I'm a businesswoman, but part of the reason we do things like this is because we want people to make a decision. I want you to figure out, is this for you or if it's not for you? I'm good. I really want those who this is not for to just totally say, girl, I'm out. I don't want to do this with you, or for whatever reason, right? But if it is for you, I want you to know that. Okay. I want you to I'm very much into make an informed choice, because I've seen how badly things go when people start working with somebody and they didn't actually really know what they were getting into. So I want you to know what you're getting into, because you and I, if you join me on this path, we're in a contract. We're in agreement. I'm agreeing to support you, but guess what? I also want you to understand what I expect of you, because this is your journey. I am not here to be in control of anything or anybody. I am a guide. Yes, I'm an Ia, and I take that very seriously. Ia, we are the priestesses. Okay. And that's what Ia means. It's a title. um, I take that very seriously. And my chief goal is for you to be able to embrace this tradition in a way where you feel stable and you're able to cultivate this for yourself. I will support you, but ultimately is the power and the wisdom and the might that lies within you. That's what I expect to bloom and blossom as you work with me if you join me on this journey. And so I have to put it together like this. Plus, I like doing this. um, and anybody is free to join me and enjoy all the things that I'm sharing as I share about this path, and just enjoy it and not sign up. But for those who this is for you. Hi, Latanya. Welcome. I'm so glad to see y'all, because I've just been kind of saying I'm just going to do the best I can, because it takes a lot of work to put things together like this. And I said I was going to tell y'all I'm officially in charge of my dad's finances, taking care of an 80-something-year-old's finances. Oh my God, is. Okay. So, yes, I am here to talk to you about the 2025 Sacred Calabash Ileke Initiation. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'll give you the foundations that pretty much you'll learn in anything in Ifa world or Santeria, Lukumi. There's just certain things that you're going to learn across the board, because that's the foundation of this initiation that I'm taking you through. We're going to look at some of the common fears. I'm going to talk to you about the sacred calabash experience, and then if you want to join me, there's a link. The link is live. You can start signing up whenever you're ready. If you have questions, always feel free to let me know. So before we start, we've already done just a little bit of work, but let's just go on ahead and take a moment, if possible, for you to close your eyes or lower your gaze, taking in a deep breath in through your nose, long, slow, deep breath out through your mouth. If it feels good for you, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your womb space. And just connecting to yourself, dropping into your heart, connecting with your inner guide and allowing yourself just to stay connected to that inner guide so that you can receive the wisdom, the guidance, just whatever it is that you need today. And I'll just say, I call upon the sacred ancestors, the Orisha, and the divine waters of Yemaja to bless this space. May every heart here today be held in love, guided by wisdom, and empowered by spirit. May our time together be sacred. May our paths be clear. And may each sister receive exactly what she needs to receive today as we commune together. Ashe, ashe, asheo. Okay, so we'll start here. So I'm just wanting to know if you've heard the call. I'm assuming there are quite a few of you who have heard the call, and it kind of feels like you hear it, but it's like what is that language? What are you calling me to? But if you can feel the truth in it, right? And the thing that I love about this type of spirituality is it's not even about knowing, it's about remembering. And that's why the call into the Ileke initiation into, well, it's really not just the Ileke initiation, but it's a call to be on this path. It feels like a call. It's a pull. And I remember having that, growing up myself, not knowing that. And so something that is important for you to remember, especially for so many of us who feel disconnected from our ancestors and it's kind of like we've just been out there free floating. We're not lost. We're just waiting for the moment. You are just waiting for the moment for that you hear the call so that you can say yes. And I am telling y'all, I understand this because I lived it for so long. And there are still different calls that I can hear. It pulls me, you know? And so some of you are just waiting for the call so that you can say yes. So if you don't know me already, I am Tyra. That's the name my mother gave me. My spiritual name is Omilade. Government last name, married name Hargrove. I'm a priestess and I'm a spiritual guide. I work with women, and my goal is to help women live in alignment with their life purpose using ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. And in my mind, the Ileke path, or not the Ileke path, the Ifa or Risha path is one of those traditions that help us to connect to the wisdom, that help us step into our healing. So that's it's very relevant to what we're doing, or what I do as a goddess priestess, and in my empowerment work with women. I am a diviner, which means I love oracles. I've been doing readings since 2002. At this point in time, I've probably read for hundreds of people, mostly women. And yeah, astrology is something that's big for me. And yeah, I love wisdom. And you'll hear me talk about the Odu. I love the Odu of the Ifa Orisha tradition. So yeah, I'm a priestess, twice initiated. I first initiated as the Sacred Feminine Mysteries priestess. That's almost actually 20 years ago. It's 19 years this year. And then a priestess of Yemonja, 11 years. So for me, answering that call, I just remember as a little girl knowing something is different about me. And it was like this pull. I could just feel it, right? But it wasn't until I got to college that I began to actually see, oh, this path is real, but I was still afraid of it. I was like, "I don't really know what it is." Iyanla Van Zandt is talking to me about it, but it was some cognitive dissonance because I was raised up Christian, and it was just like, "You don't do nothing outside of Christianity." And, but it was just like it just ramped up, ramped up, ramped up. My mother died, it ramped up even more because now it's like, how do I connect with my mother who's an ancestor? And that's what really made me begin to dip my toe into it. But it really got to a breaking point right when I turned 30. I was just like, I got to do something new. I got to do something different. And so I had my first son, and a year later, I met the people who would become my teachers. And in 2002, that is when I got my Ilekes, and it truly felt like a homecoming. To this day, when my Babaji said, "Welcome home," it was real for me. I really and truly was just waiting for the right people to come through and, and help, it was like I knew they were the ones for me. Now, I became a priestess of Yemoja in 2014, and, it was just, again, a call. It was almost like I knew before long before I became a priestess of Yemoja, I knew that I was born to be a priestess. That's why I said it's a remembering that a lot of us are experiencing, and you can feel it in the body. And, it's just a deep knowing, and so I became a priestess of Yemoja, and, just haven't looked back. I've never regretted my time or, stepping fully onto this path. I remember being terrified about it initially, and I did everything I could to avoid it. I was like, "Well, maybe I could just kinda dip my toe," but it just felt like somebody was pulling at me. So, yeah, that's my story. And so the more I learned about Ifa, the more it felt like, again, a remembering, because it was like, this is me. This is really me. So I really want to talk about the 6 pillars of ancestral wisdom to ground your path. And I want to start off with saying that, I'm gonna keep moving. I had a thought and then it left me. I'm just going with my mind. I made the slides and I was like, I'm just gonna blow. Um, I know what I was gonna say. I remember being confused around why do these religions that are very common and popular in modern society, why do they not align with me fully? They just didn't. But then once I started studying with my teachers and, learning more about the teachings within EFI, just the practice of it, um, the more I said, "This aligns with me." It just feels like we match like a hand in glove. So, one of the things that is very important to me that you all understand, I cannot put me being a goddess priestess or all the teachings that I learned from my godparents that aren't Ifa specific, I can't leave them at the door, and I won't leave them at the door. So again, I wanna make sure y'all understand who I am and how I roll. And so one of the first things that I talk about is not actually any Ifa teachings. It's why we walk this path, self-realization and self-mastery. That's ultimately what this is about. Do you know who you are? Self-realization. Understanding the truth of who and what you are beyond all the conditionings that you have received, and understanding why are you here and what are you supposed to be doing. And so that is key. And self-mastery. Self-mastery is mastering all the lessons, the things that are challenging for you, and mastering your gifts, your talents, stepping fully into your destiny. And Ifa is a path that will help you to do that. So one of the first things that I talk about, and something that I always will talk about, is never ever forget ultimately what this is about. You could never know anything about all the teachings within Ifa, but if you just allow your Ori, which is your higher self, and the Odu that you get to lead, guide, and direct you, they will help you get in alignment with why you're here and understanding your truth. And it's very healing. Okay. So this is important for you. It's important for you to understand why we walk this path. And I have teachings that will support you in that. So the other thing that I don't hear a lot of people talk about is Iwa Pele. Now we're going to bring Iwa Pele up. You'll hear people bring up Iwa Pele, but Iwa Pele really needs to be the first thing that we're talking about within E5, because I would say everything that comes after this that I'm going to show you points to this. If there's anything that's the foundation, baby, is Iwa Pele. It is all about good character. It is prominent within EFI teachings. Doesn't matter which brand or version, I should say, of EFI it is. It's all about Iwa Pele. Good character. EFI wants you to make choices that lead you to good character. Number one, when we have good character, it's easier for us to live a life of happiness, joy, abundance, health, wealth. Family is blessed. That's what Iwa Pele brings you. And I said the other day, if you study the deities, Ifa, Egypt, Kemet, Greek, Roman, all of them, these deities, baby, I'm like, if the gods and goddesses got problems manifesting Iwa Pele, you better know, we better understand we are going to have to be working on our Iwa Pele also. Okay. So we're going to talk about Iwa Pele because it really is the foundation of everything. Because the next foundation, the Ori, which is your most important Orisha. What is the Ori? Ori is seat of consciousness. There's different ways of understanding the Ori, but you can think of it as you have consciousness, and then there's a level of consciousness that is here to support you, which is your Ori. Okay. And the goal is to get you lined up so that you are listening to and walking with your Ori. And what does the Ori guide us to? Iwa Pele. Because for people who are not living out Iwa Pele, what ends up happening is their Ori cannot deliver. Their Ori may not want to even deliver for them. Okay. So it's important for you to understand, and that's what we're going to focus on for those who join me. The Iwa Pele and the Ori. This is what it's all pointing to. Now, this is something I want you to think about. I want you to think about an area in your life where you know you're like, I'm a little weak in that area. Maybe you don't always tell the truth. Maybe you have stinking thinking. This Iwa Pele, these infractions of the Iwa Pele can happen in multiple ways. And so the Ori is working to help you be aware, conscious of that, so that you can strengthen yourself in that way. And the more we walk in Iwa Pele, then we're able to better live out our destiny. Because lack of Iwa Pele it can impede us from fully living out our destiny. Okay. So the Ori is here specifically to support you on your path. All right. So the next foundation is, of course, the ancestors. So this is foundational within the Ifa tradition. I think for us, it is so important to work with the ancestors because, number one, many of us don't know anything about our ancestors. And what is that? Sankofa out of, Ghana. That's real. To understand that from which you came, it supports you in helping you to understand, like, what is your part of the legacy to pick up and play out and live? Or maybe it's like, what part where do you need to heal the legacy? The other thing is, the Orisha are like the stars. If we think about Hollywood, the Orisha, they are the stars that we all love to listen to and watch on the big screen or listen to their music or look at their clothing line or whatever. It's kind of like the Orisha are those people. But when we really think about who we have access to the most to support us, they are our guardian spirits, our guardian angels. It's the ancestors, because the ancestors have a vested interest in you, because the Ifa Orisha tradition does subscribe to reincarnation. And so it's just like the Native Americans. They're always thinking 7 generations out. Why? Because they know they're coming back. And so it's like, I'm here, my ancestors are helping me because I'm supposed to be doing something to help the generations to come, which will be them. And then I'll be able to go into that rotation, when it's my time to go to ancestor world, I'll go and be helping the ones who are here. So the ancestors, they surround us. Think Mulan, think Moana, but this is Africa, right? This is Nigeria. So we're going to talk about the ancestors, and people might say, if I go back to the Ori, yes, we'll talk about how do you work with the Ori. A lot of what people have questions about is like, well, what am I supposed to do? And so we're going to come up with those practices. Everything throughout here, I'm always giving a spiritual practice because I'm about the spiritual practice. So we'll definitely be talking about how to do that. And I do want to just mention, I am like, for me, the goddess tradition is about self religion. And so I don't want to do cookie cutter anything. So if you're looking for cookie cutter, I'm going to introduce you to the tradition and you get to choose what works for you. If you do, like y'all heard me say the prayer for Yemanja. Yes, I decided to memorize that prayer. I'm like, hey, I'm a part of this tradition. I should memorize at least one prayer in Yoruba. Do I talk to Yemanja in Yoruba? No, because she understands all languages. This tradition is, to me, for everybody. The world needs Ifa, right? Um, but I am the type of Iya who is like, hey, I want to give you the license to hear from your ancestors, your Ori, your Orisha, or the Orisha, the Odu, to determine what is what should you do. But definitely we'll talk about how to set up an ancestral altar, and all of those things are included. I try to leave no stone unturned to get you just that great start in the foundation. And then the superstars, the Orisha, forces of nature, and we talked about them. The Ilekes, there's 5 beautiful beaded necklaces. I spell Ilekes with an I, but you'll see people spell it with an E. Both are correct. But yeah, you're gonna get Eshu Alegua, Shango, Obatala, Oshun, Yemoja. But you work with all the Orisha, to be honest with you. But this gets you started, okay? And so you get to learn about the Orisha. People will have many, many questions because you'll learn that I'm going to have Q&As. But yeah, you'll get to learn. And for me, it's about experiencing. Part of the issue with a lot of people, it's like you get a lot of information, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? And how has my life changed? And that's one of the things that I want to make sure I set you up for, is that when you work with the Orisha, you understand the importance of getting out in nature. You know how to work with them in your own way. Remember, you work with me, you might come up with some ritual that nobody's ever done before because it's just between you and the Orisha. But I expect your life to improve in the way that you want it to improve, even if it's slowly and over time. I'm looking for our lives should be getting better. I think that that's part of the issue with this tradition. It's a lot of people practicing, but I'm like, the part of the reason I don't really hang out in any Ifa Orisha space is I look and I'm like, I don't know if I hang out with y'all, I don't know if I want to look like that. Because if I do, I know I'm the next one in line. And I'm looking for transformation. I'm looking for healing. I'm looking for a true connection. Because the Orisha sometimes they'll tell you stuff that you're like, oh, I didn't want to hear that. That hurt. Well, I'll talk about here's next one. The Odu, ancient wisdom. And I say it's for modern women. Sometimes that Odu comes in EB. So the Odu, is it open or is it indicating struggle? Or ire means that it's open and ease, flow, abundance, things can be working in your favor. But baby, when it comes in a EB, struggle is indicated. But thankfully, they're wanting you to be in alignment with good character. So that's why they gave you the B, because maybe you out of sorts, maybe you out of alignment in some kind of way, and they just want to help you get in alignment. So that's what I love about the Orisha. They're going to tell you the truth. So the Odu is the ancient wisdom, and I remember, you get the reading, you get your Odu, which I will be doing. Give you your Odu. If you already have an Odu, I'll just do an Odu for this initiation. But if somebody gave you an Odu already, just keep that Odu. I don't like feeling like things have to be conflictual or anything like that. So, but you get the Odu, and I used to be like, well, what am I supposed to do with this? Because they interpret the Odu. When you get a reading, people will interpret the Odu for you. And then I just got frustrated. Like, how do I chew into this thing? So I want to teach you how to work with the Odu because I see the Odu no differently than I see the Orisha. So today I did, and I got an Odu, and it's O'Shea. Well, I feel like I can talk to O'Shea just like I would talk to Oshun, the Orisha, who speaks through O'Shea. Okay. So I want to talk to you all how to work with the Odu. What are the Odu? I want you to begin to hear the wisdom of the Odu, and I want to show you how you apply it. Okay. Okay. So what is initiation? Initiation means that you consciously step onto the spiritual path, taking your spiritual journey to the next level, or moving into a fresh new stage in this life where the primary emphasis for the Aborisha. So when you first come into this tradition, this religion, you are called Aborisha, and that pretty much just means that you are a devotee, where the Aborisha is seeking deeper spiritual growth and development within the Ifa Orisha tradition. And I just want to emphasize that. To me, that's what this is all about. And you don't have to fully understand what that's going to be. Sometimes you just hear the call, but you're kind of like, well, where is this going to lead me to? As long as you keep that intention, deeper spiritual growth and development, that is going to be your experience. So I just wonder, do you hear the call? Do you hear the call, sister? So I just want to address some of the fears that people have about coming into this tradition. What if I do something wrong? I don't want to disrespect the Orisha or offend the ancestors without even realizing it. Um, my thing is, what's the intention of your heart? There are a lot of times you can read something and it might say, if you're not Abarisha, don't do this. I believe that you should follow that rule. Or if you're not an initiated priest or priestess, don't do this. I believe you should follow those rules. If you are listening to your Ori is not going to guide you to do anything that is going to hurt you. I don't see this as a path that is hurtful. I think that Afro religions get a very bad rap. and or reputation, and, you know, it's I don't know, it's like just misunderstood. Your intention means everything. And, if you join me, you can ask me about anything that you think. Is this right? Is this wrong? I always say this is the least decentralized, this is the most decentralized religion that I know. So it's almost hard to mess up. It's almost hard to mess up. Who can I really trust? There's so much out there, and some of it doesn't feel right. I need a guide I can feel safe with. That is something that I know. I told y'all in the beginning, that was me. I just had to wait for the right guides, and I just kind of knew. It seemed like the values aligned with me, and I felt safe with them, and I love them saying, "We seek no followers. We're just here to help you get what you need, and when you're ready to move on, you can move on." And that's where I stand. You can trust me because number 1, I don't actually wanna be in charge of anybody's life. I have to be 100 with y'all. I don't. I want to help you feel completely and totally in charge of your life, okay? And so, yeah. What if this isn't actually for me? I feel drawn, but also unsure. What if I start and then realize I don't belong? And my position is if you're not sure, don't don't join. I'll bring this back at some other time. I want you to be certain this is for you. So yeah. I wasn't raised in this. Can I still do it right? No one taught me these ways. How do I know what I'm doing is correct or even allowed? The message that you'll mostly get from me is I will help you to be able to kind of look through all of the teachings that people see in this tradition. But for the most part, like I said, I can never leave my goddess teachings at the door. You're a very powerful, wise woman, and we want to cultivate that part of you so that you'll do what you know you should do. You're not going to do anything that is against you. And if you do, you're going to realize you knew you had those intentions in the first place. So, yeah, you can get it. It's very simple. This is not a seriously complex tradition, though people try to make it like it is. Will my family or community judge me? I still carry the fear of being misunderstood, rejected, or called things I am not. Well, yeah, it might be. I'm just 100 with you today. It might happen. And I said I was gonna tell when I was putting this together yesterday, I said I was gonna tell y'all, we need to be like Singapore. You can't talk religion in Singapore. My thing is stay out my business and Imma stay out your business, right? So yeah, it is definite that your family may think something. My position is your spirituality is personal and private. And the longer you stay on this path, for me, what happened was the longer I stayed on the path, the more I started feeling like, oh, I like this. I'm better. Things were going my way. And I thought, y'all can tell me whatever you want. I am not going back, baby. Because I know from whence I came and I know where I am. And I'm looking at some of y'all out there practicing something other than what I'm doing. And at the very least, our lives are not very different. And in some ways, I kinda like what I'm doing over here better than what you got going on over there. Sounds a little arrogant, but it's just how I've been able to stay true to myself. To me, in the end, I don't wanna say I did exactly what the world said I should do in terms of my spirituality. I wanna do what my spirit told me to do, and I wasn't getting any peace doing it the other way. Do I belong if I'm not Yoruba or not Black enough? Sometimes I feel like I'm not African enough to claim these traditions, and that hurts. Let me tell you something. I believe that if Ifa was supposed to stay in Africa and only be for the Yoruba people, then that's exactly what would have happened. I believe that Ifa knew that Christianity was coming to Nigeria and the Nigerians were gonna en masse reject. Well, it's not even just Christianity, it's also Islam. They knew that they were going to reject this tradition. And so Ifa decided, let me go over here with the ones that's going to South America, the Caribbean, and the United States, and be preserved in that way. And there are multiple people from multiple backgrounds. Even you look at some of those Nigerians, they not even purebred. Well, I don't know if purebred is the right way of saying it, but their bloodline ain't just African. Okay. We all mixed up. Ifa is about wisdom. It is about healing. It is about power. And it is for everyone. It is about nature. And I think if we do not get more people learning about this tradition, this world is going to stay really messed up. We need more indigenous spiritual systems. And I'm going to be honest with you, as Black as I am, even I haven't sometimes felt Black enough to be a part of this religion. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to stand on my business and I'm going to do it anyway. It's more about self realization, self mastery. The African piece of it is incredible. The energy of Africa is amazing. I look forward to going one day. Why wouldn't anybody want to be a part of this? So that's what I have to say about that. Will I be spiritually safe? There's power in these traditions. I want to be held, not harmed. I want to walk in light. And so I love bringing up this point because it's very, very important. I don't care if you get your Elekes with me or someone else. As soon as you don't feel safe, trust yourself. And the way I safeguard against spiritual safety is I'm letting y'all know from the door, I'm not trying to run your life. There are no have tos. I want you to understand because sometimes people come into, a spiritual container and it's like they know they're supposed to be there, but something happens and you kind of lock up. You kind of like, okay, this is foreign to me because it is. Most people don't know anything about what's going on. They've never really participated and they don't feel safe. And it's a lot of snakes out there. I remember these people going into folks' DMs and folks contacted me like they say they need to sacrifice this animal or that animal. And I'm like, don't do it. Like they came to you. You didn't go to them saying you got a problem. What animal do I need to sacrifice? Right. By the way, if you want animal sacrifice, I am not the ear for you. I chose the godparents that I chose because they said we don't do animal sacrifice. So if you want animal sacrifice, you got to go find somebody else because I'm not going to do it. I believe you need to be responsible for you. Now, that is a part of this tradition. And a lot of people will look down on you if you're like, nope, I'm not doing it. And then, they laugh if you're a meat eater like me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not doing no animal sacrifice. It's just not who I am. Plus, I just kind of feel like, why should that animal die? At least animals that I eat, they is to help me live. But because I'm screwing up in my life, and I'm just gonna talk 100 with you all. This is just how I think about it. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, and an animal should pay for that. No, no. So, but anywho, um, it's a lot of people out there that you do have to trust yourself when something doesn't feel right. But sometimes, like if you join me, there might be some things that kind of make you feel nervous because it feels foreign. And I'm just going to be like, you know what, when you're ready, if you're never ready, it's okay. Right. So, because initiation will, in fact, make a lot of stuff come up because it's a new beginning. And sometimes people they need time to kind of process the stuff that comes up. And they're like, oh, I can just show up. But right now, I'm just trying to survive. And so I want to reframe fears. May not be that you need to have fear of doing something wrong. It's just this path matters and you really want to embrace it in a way that is going to work for you. And of course, not walking it alone, not trying to figure it out, looking at all the websites, all the videos, walking that lonely path. Sometimes you don't have to do that. And that's where I come in. I created the Sacred Calabash Ileke Initiation. I want to call it Sacred Calabash because to me that's feminine. The calabash is very feminine, and I want to feminize the Ileke Initiation. At least the name of it. It's a Ifa. I'm doing my best to make it as not traditional, but I want to introduce you to the true tradition. But uh, too many women received their legacies and left to figure it out alone. So I created this to offer a sacred beginning, always rooted in love, also community, and I want to help bring clarity. And so the Sacred Calabash Initiation is your guided, supported pathway into devotion in the Ifa Orisha tradition. And again, I like to say Ifa Orisha just because I just think it's important for us to understand what we're really doing. I looked at a video yesterday and a lady addressed it exactly in a way I thought, okay, I saw this video just to confirm or feel affirmed. She was like, are you in the Orisha tradition or are you in the Ifa tradition? And she was saying, you can't even really know which Orisha you're working with without getting an Odu, which is Ifa. Um, and so in the end, it's one and the same. Ifa is really what is the most important, the Odu. So it is what is the Sacred Calabash Ileke Initiation? A 12-week initiatory journey for women who desire to be formally initiated into the Orisha tradition. Now, this is Ayoka. She didn't initiate with me through Ifa. She has her own EI, but we're connected because she initiated both of these ladies. This is Azizi initiated into the spiritual aspirant initiation, and we were together at one point. But both of them are in Ifa, the Ifa Risha tradition, and Azizi actually did. Ayodele is her Orisha name. Ayodele got her Alekes with me. I love them so much. So it's a sacred guided path for those seeking to become official devotees with structure, community, and spiritual support every step of the way. And in my mind, you don't necessarily have to initiate to be in proximity to this tradition. But my position is when people step into an initiatory path consciously, then you're opening yourself up to deeper mysteries being revealed just because you're showing willingness to consciously step onto the path. And that's not to say that the wisdom can't be given to you in some other way, but I just feel that Ifa is like, I'm here for everybody, but those who actually say, I'm going to get my Alekes, my warriors, hand of Ifa, I'm going to study, I'm going to have a practice, do all some rituals or whatever. He's like, or it's like, I'm going to impart on them some additional wisdom. And a lot of that comes from the more you practice and grow, then it's like the next um you get opened up to the next level of wisdom, I guess you could say. So that's why to a certain degree this is the differentiation. I'm fine for people who are like, I don't want to do this formally. But there is something about saying, I'm gonna go ahead and do this that opens you up. And of course, it opens you up to things that are further down the path, like getting your warriors. The warriors are Eshu, Ogun, Ochosi, Osun, and they are the protectors. They help to protect you. But it's like you go into a deeper relationship with each stage of initiation. I don't believe everybody's born to be a priest or a priestess, or maybe you do initiate and become a priest or priestess, but it may not be that you're initiating to do spiritual work with other people. But if you don't put your foot on this path, that's not a possibility, because there's certain things you've got to do in order to even get to that place where you're able to go through that initiation. So that's another part of the distinction. So the Ileke initiation is rooted in Yoruba cosmology and the wisdom of the Great Mother. And this experience is designed to help women consciously and confidently step into the Ifa Orisha tradition and provide foundational teachings and rituals to ensure clarity and direction on the path. I would say that's probably one of the biggest issues that people experience with this. It's like, what am I supposed to do? That's my personal opine. It was new. It looks super new and shiny on that picture. I was so proud to get my opine. But that's how I do my divination with the 16 cowrie shell divination. Also, it's designed to support the reclamation of spiritual heritage, especially for women of African and Latin descent seeking to return to ancestral roots. Um, my position is we need a a path like this in this time. I would love it if we were more connected to hoodoo in the United States. Most of us don't even know what to do with hoodoo. I think this is a really good start to really connecting with practices and working with the Orisha to call in protection and covering for our families. I remember watching a video that talked about how a lot of ways that we protected ourselves, my ancestors in slavery, was using things to like it's like conjure, using the conjure. See, why did they tell us to stop doing all this? Because it worked, but to where you can cloak it. And see, each one of you has some deep spiritual power within you to do work like that for your family. And it's very important to me to at least open the door for those who want access to that. That's why we don't need to be afraid of coming into a path like this. They don't want us to, because it works. And I want you to have that opportunity if you want to be that conjure woman. And I want you to be able to stand on your business where you like not doubting yourself because you have fully stepped into this path. Also, my like initiation is designed to anchor you in daily practices. Check this out, because I said I was going to really hyper focus on this, that improve your lives spiritually, emotionally, and energetically as Ifa Orisha devotees. Because it's not enough just to say the prayers and do the dances and listen to the music. Whatever we're doing on this path, it needs to be something that's leading your life to becoming better. All right. That's very, very important to me. So my initiation is more than a class. Sister, it's a sacred beginning. And just like I got welcome home, it's a spiritual homecoming for you also. A guided initiation into a tradition that has held our people across generations and continents. Just makes my heart open. It does make me feel connected to my ancestors. So let me tell you a little bit about it. I'm into audio now, so I've created, and I'll have to create some more. I haven't finished all the audios, but I have audios that I created. So it's audio modules that talk about being a part of this tradition, the self realization, self mastery, those kinds of things, because people have a lot of questions, and I'm doing my best to give you some type of resource from the door that will help you to kind of see, okay, what check off all the questions that you had. And then of course we're going to have 5 Q&A sessions where you can bring any additional questions, general or maybe it's something, where you kind of like, I want to know how to apply this in my life. 6 biweekly Ileke integration circles. And so circles is a part of what I do as a goddess priestess because I don't want y'all to just come in and be sitting and listening. So I created where we'll get together biweekly and go through an experiential practice where you're having time to really integrate all that you're learning. You're able to really tap in and tune into your Ori and work with your ancestors and just really be able it's experiential. It feels tangible and real. I don't want y'all to get all this. I don't want to just load you up with all this information and then you walk out the door like, well, I know all this stuff, but I have no idea what to do with it. So that's what the circles are designed to do. And also, yes, I want to make sure, like we come in, we do the libations, and they're all, going to be on Zoom. But we're going to do the libations, and we're going to say the prayers, and I want y'all to experience it, not just hear about it. Okay. And the last week is the Eleke ceremony. If there are people who are local or want to come in, then I will do one locally. I would love to do that. But I've done these virtually also, where everyone will get, I don't know if I put this in here, you're going to get the fees that you pay cover your lekes and your spiritual bath. And so I'll send those to you. And there's a special ceremony that we do at the end so that you can, make it formal. And there's a process I take you through for your beads. You're like a so yeah, like an initiation ceremony. Um, yeah, of course you're gonna get your guardian Orisha reading. In the diaspora, you're gonna get the mother and the father if they speak. But typically, I'll get you on a mother and a father. I'll get you a mother and a father. Um, and also you get your Odu. So you're gonna know who your guardian Orisha are. Maybe one of the Orisha that you get with the Elekes, but may not be. Okay. And so yeah, you'll find out your guardian Orishas, you'll get your Odu. And I'm going to show you how to do 4 cowrie shell divination. And you use it to consult your ancestors for the most part. But yeah, I will help you with that. And I'm putting so much together that it's like, okay, they can listen to it, but I want to put it in a format where it's printable. And so I'm going to be putting together a course guide. It's not ready yet. It'll probably be ready within the first month. So yeah, the course guide and journal, I kind of see it as like your, it's sort of like a grimoire. I want it to be a place where you're able to like put down some things that you've learned, um, maybe even write down some practices. Of course, you could put your do there, that kind of thing. Another thing too is some of the things that I am going to be sharing are like, and this is going to be in the modules. When you go out into the greater Ifa world, what do you do? That's a scary thing. It really is because people be doing a lot. Um, Like, for me, I don't want nobody bowing down in front of me. I don't care. I don't I don't care. I don't care. I don't bow down in front of me. But I want you to understand when you go to other places, that might be something that is expected of you, okay? Y'all know I'm a dancer. And so I for sure can teach you the dances of the Orisha that you're getting through the Eleke. So I'll do my best to do it live. Hopefully, y'all will want to dance with me live via Zoom. But yeah, I'm going to teach you the Orisha dances because it is kind of like a big deal. Also, there's the Orisha Temple, which is a private group just for those who are joining me, and it's on my Mighty Networks. So you're going to see me share something in a minute, but I don't want anyone joining this who is just like, girl, just give me my lekes. I don't want to be talking to a whole bunch of people. I'm not the ear for you. I'm not the ear for you. I'm looking for people who want community, okay? Because Ifa is very communal. It actually is it's the backbone and the foundation of the family and the community. So the majority of your practice will be solo, but this initiation is not. And I'm calling it right now the ancestral echo. I have started learning how to create customized GPTs. If people are not into GPT, you can just not use it. But I was like, I love inspiration. And so this one is, I'm going to program it so you could just say something like, hey, what does O'Shea say? And it'll be a very simple um, description that I put into the GPT. But if you need something really quickly to remind you of an Odu or something like that, or if you just want some EFI inspiration, don't be asking it to do a reading for you, like asking it a question or anything like that, because that's not what this is about. It's just in I get tired of going to these different spiritual things. It's like pick a card and it's never anything African. And so this is my way of creating something that's based on Afro spirituality that's digital. So I'm working on getting that together. But yeah, that's a part of it also. So these are the things I want y'all to be thinking about. Hi, Felicia. Hey, Queen. So is this for you? So this might be for you if you felt the call of the Orisha, but you didn't know where to begin. You want guidance from someone you trust. You're ready to stop feeling unsure or spiritually disconnected. You long to return to the ways of your ancestors with support. You are seeking to craft your own relationship and practices with the ancestors. I'm going to say that again. You are seeking to craft your own relationship and practices with the ancestors. There's no perfection needed if you're working with me. Please, no perfection. Okay. You love both connection to a tradition and to be self directed in your spirituality. All right. You desire spiritual community, though not spiritual conformity. That's important to me. We want spiritual community, but y'all, I'm too much of a rebel. I'm sorry. I'm a rebel. So even within EFI, I'm not trying to do EFI like everybody else. I don't care. I don't care. You carry a beginner's mindset open to unlearning, listening, and being shaped by sacred wisdom. Beginner's mindset is very, very important because you want to just give yourself a chance to just start fresh and anew and let the wisdom, let your ancestors, your Orisha guide you, your Ori, okay? So this may not be for you because this isn't for everyone, and that's okay. This is sacred work, and the container must be right for both of us. You're not seeking a strictly rigid or traditional only EFI initiation. This journey honors tradition, but it also embraces modern, integrative, spirit-led path. You're not open to participating in a sacred group space. I've heard me talk about that. We gather in community for support, reflection, and ancestral connection. If group connection isn't aligned for you right now, this may not be the right time. This may not be for you if you're unwilling to begin with the beginner's mindset. This initiation is for women who are curious, open, and ready to learn, not perform or prove. Very important. You want a quick fix or spiritual performance? This is not a box to check or a title to claim. This is a 12-week sacred unfolding. The path works if you're willing to walk it. May not be for you if you're not ready to trust your own inner wisdom without someone guiding you every step of the way. This may not be the right time, but I will do everything I can to help you cultivate trust in yourself, your Ori, your ancestors. You're attached to dogma, hierarchy, or spiritual ego. We honor the divine feminine, ancestral wisdom in each woman's Ori. There is no room here for judgment, control, or elitism. I just want to show up and have a good time, is why I put that there. If you are like, she ain't E5 enough for me, don't join because you're going to be frustrated. Okay. If you already can tell that, then I'm trying to get you to realize it because I'm showing you the tradition, but I'm not here to be anything other than who and what I am. And I don't want you to show up and feel like you got to be anything other than who and what you are. So if you're ready to walk in softness, depth, and sacred remembrance, the space is waiting for you. So if you're still here, you already know your Ori has been whispering. The ancestors have been guiding. This isn't about perfection. It's about remembrance. And I cannot overstate that. It's about stepping onto the path with clarity, with support, and with heart. And if your spirit has been waiting for a safe, sacred way to begin, the time is now. And again, this is more than a course. Participation is expected. We're a community. Work the process because the registration is open. And I put a link in the description box, or if you're watching this on my website, there's some place where you can click and go check it out. I'm only going to work with 10 people. I don't like working with big groups. So 10 ladies. And we're going to have our opening ceremony on May 13th. I just like to get things started and like right away, let's meet and begin to, just start bringing ourselves together, get everybody feeling like, I'm feeling ready. I'm grounded in the container and I'm grounded in the process and ready to go. All right. So let's look at your investment. Number one, your time. Again, I am not here to do anything but work with you about your path, your life, understanding this path. So I really only want people who are like, girl, I'm ready. I'm ready to participate. I'm ready to learn. Doesn't mean you have to listen to all the audios in a certain amount of time, be like you're in school or anything like that. But I mean, like, why start this if you don't want to put in time? Because that's what you do with E5. Like I said, a lot of people, you have the community piece, but the majority of your E5 Orisha work is in your home, is with you and your Ori, your ancestors, the Orisha. You've got to get in the habit of putting in that time. I got to drink some water. And commitment. Pardon the typo. So stepping onto this path is to make a conscious commitment to you, your soul, and your destiny. Okay. So I want you to do that. I want you to think about, am I committed right now? Because life will get ultra busy as soon as you decide you're going to step on the path. Everything, sometimes when people step into initiation, it's like everything goes haywire. And it's designed to do that, not the actual process that I'm taking you through or any other one, but life. Because it's like when you're calling in something new, which is initiation, that means you're not trying to stay the same. And probably the area where you most need the change, that's what gets kind of activated. And you have to come into a spiritual initiation. And this is God is teaching. You have to come into your initiations and your spiritual processes committed. You have to just make that decision no matter what, because you wanna get what's for you, but that doesn't mean that it looks any kind of way. Because sometimes I have ladies, they are listening to everything, they're showing up at all the meetings. Man, everyone is like, "I wish I was like her." I've been that person looking at the other person like, "Oh, wow, she getting a lot done," and I am not. So it's like everyone's gonna kinda show up differently. I've had ladies show up, and one lady in one initiation, she had to move all of a sudden, maybe within 2 weeks of the initiation, she had to move her and her children from one state or maybe one part of the state to the another part. It was definitely from one city to the next, and, that's a big deal. It's a big deal if you just have to move you, but she had to unexpectedly move her and her children someplace new, right? She can't look at every module, but she didn't give up. She kept showing up. Sometimes it's like, all I can do right this week is show up for the meetings. The Let me show you this. The investment is $600. Um, Hold on one second. Where's my little Oh, okay. Yeah, I did show you everything. Um, so this is what I was gonna say. You know, what I want to do is create, I'm into toolkits. I have goddess toolkits. I want to create something so that if I were to fall off this planet, you will still have tools that will support you. Like all the audios, I'm making them so you can download them. Like I said, I want to create this Eleke, this not Eleke, but this guide and journal so that you have something printable with you. I want to equip you, right? So you'll have access to it all. The key is to stay engaged in the initiation. That's the point that I want to make. Okay, so $600, $600 is how much it cost. And it's on my Shopify store. And so with Shopify, you can pick how you want to pay. If you want to pay in full, you can pay in full. If you want to pay in installments, you can pay in installments. I need to I just thought about this because I've been working, quite a bit. If you're not sure about this, don't sign up because eventually I'm going to add terms of agreement is after a week, no refunds. Okay. No refunds, no refunds. So only sign up with me. I'm the type of person that's like, I don't want your money if you feel like, well, I'll try it out and then I'll see about getting a refund. I'm like, just wait. Wait until I come back around and you can, decide. But yeah, $600, 3 months. I showed you everything that you're gonna get. And so now we're gonna talk about this Odu that Oshun gave us today. One of the things that I think is important is for you to see yourself on the other side of the initiation. And I want you to imagine, maybe even close your eyes and just imagine yourself rooted, powerful, and blessed. And if you already feel that way, feel it more so. This is what lies ahead for you on the other side of this initiation. And the Odu Oshe is who spoke today. I have another one, Ogunda, but Odu Oshe spoke today. And she reminds us of this: a new precedent must be set. Blessings follow change. Sweetness comes to those who walk in reverence. And I just want you to sit with that, okay? What stood out for you? Because we have to remember initiation is a new beginning. So what new precedent do you need to set for yourself? And do you feel that getting your elekes is that new precedent? What feels broken can be transformed. And that is one of the things that this beautiful tradition helps us to do. We have to celebrate beauty over negativity. We have to embrace the beauty. Embracing the beauty of Oshun will help us to heal. It's also about helping us because so many of us have something that needs to be composted so that we can rise like a phoenix. And what needs to be composted? It's something inside of you. It's not working for you, it's not serving you. And so we're seeking to rise like a phoenix. That's what this Odu is all about. It's like the phoenix rising. And so coming out on the other side of this, you'll be stronger, softer yet, and wiser. And that's what initiation is. It's not just beads, it's not just ceremony. This is all about getting a sacred shift in your spirit, the one that your spirit has been asking for. And this shift is the one that changes everything. So again, Odu Oshe says, a new precedent must be established in order to find good fortune. And it also says, desiring spiritual growth will lead to abundance. And it's not just abundance in money, it's just the overall feeling of abundance, enoughness, well being, abundance of all things good and divine in your life. So, what new precedent will you set? Will you choose sweetness over fear, ancestral wisdom over confusion, ritual over disconnection? And I dare say, because I don't play, the Sacred Calabash Ileke Initiation is your pattern breaker, even. Is your place to begin again with guidance, clarity, and love. The door is open. Will you walk through? Registration is open until May 12th. Yep. Open until May 12th at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. The link to the website, I think, is in the description box. Let me see here. Oh, can I copy and paste this? Oh, crap. What did I do? I don't know what I just did. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on one second, y'all. I don't know where my little thing went. I think thanks. I'll tell you what. I'll just put it here in. Okay. I don't know what I did with my. Oh, maybe okay, I see what I did. I clicked the link. I didn't know it was clickable. So again, just imagine yourself grounded in your ancestors' love. Imagine walking in power, wisdom, and grace. Imagine stepping onto the Orisha path fully, consciously, and beautifully. The Sacred Calabash Ileke Initiation is open. We are ready to welcome you, Sister Queen. Join me. And yeah, if you have any questions, I would love to answer those questions. For those who have stayed here with me all this time, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I was going to record this and I thought I'll just go live. I feel like I'm being called to more, but I wasn't sure what it was. Yep, that's how it is a lot of times with this particular path. Every time I ignore the calling because I'm not one to initiate into anything, but it always comes back as something to look into. Oh, I actually found you roughly 7 years ago on Curiosity in Search of Ifa. That's how a lot of people find me. Well, thank y'all so much. I appreciate you for being here. I just want to close out by saying, may the ancestors walk with you. May your Ori guide you clearly. May the love of the Orisha surround and protect you always. Wherever you are on your journey, know this: you are seen, you are sacred, you are never alone. Ashe, 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 oh, giving thanks. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you. And yeah, let's turn on some music as we take it. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Connect soon.